Welcome back to Coaching Guitars, Make It with the Major Scale. In this second video, we're going to see how we can harmonize the scale that we've just built. A harmony is when you play two notes simultaneously. Now, harmony is very powerful in music. Harmony dictates to the listener the emotional response that they will have to the piece they're listening to. It supports the message of the song and helps them feel what you want them to feel. Two notes played together will indicate how that is going to take place. A triad consists of three notes being played together, and this is where, as guitar players, we start to build chords. In the scale that we were just playing in G major, we'll start on that root note of G again. We're going to move past the second note, which was A, because notes played very closely together at the same time tend to sound quite muddy. You can't discern between the two. They're too close together for the ear. So what happens is we skip the second and we go straight to the third. Those notes played together as a root and a third. Again, from this third position, we do the same. So we skip past the fourth and we add the fifth. So I'm going to add that in on the open D string. So we now have G, B, and D of your root, third, and fifth being played as a triad. We open this out across the spectrum of the guitar to add in higher tones to make it a fuller sounding chord in an open voicing by continuing to add those notes throughout the octave, which will give us an open G major chord. There are two other places in a major scale that you can build this major triad. Instead of starting on the root in the first position, we now move up to the fourth note, which in G major is C, and do the exact same thing again. We build the harmony by skipping a note and adding in the third, which is an E, and skipping a note again and adding in the fifth. C, E, and G as our root, third, and fifth of a C major triad. It can be spread out across the octave to sound fuller and sound more balanced. The next place that you can do this is in the fifth note. This will be D in G major. D being your root, skipping the next note along, which will be E, to then land on the third of F sharp. F sharp fits nicely within the key of G, they belong together. We move past the fourth to then land on the fifth position, which is A. So we have three major chords within this major scale. G major, C major, D major. Let's return back to the second position. The second note now is A in this G major scale. If we were to harmonize A as our root note, we'd skip past the second, which would be B, to then the third note, which is C when you're in G major. However, in the key of A major, our third note would be C sharp. Try building that, try working that out. Start on G, go a tone up, you'll get to a B, tone up, you'll get to C sharp. So C sharp is going to clash against C. So what we do is, we make the interval smaller, we reduce that note. Technically, we're flattening the third. This means that we're no longer playing a major triad, we're playing a minor triad. We've equated the idea of this being a less stable interval to having an emotional response such as sad or unsettling, kind of an unhappy state. Again, with the others, we can build this chord in two other places. So this also takes place on the third position, which will give you a B minor, and on the sixth position, an E minor. So harmonizing your major scale, you've created G major, first position, A minor in the second, B minor in the third, C major in the fourth, D major in the fifth, and E minor in the sixth. Practice these round, get used to the chord shapes, and what we'll do in the next session is we will examine how we can put these into patterns, which creates chord progressions for us as guitar players.